Once upon a time, in a bustling city in the heart of the East, there lived a young boy named Aladdin. He was a clever but lazy lad who spent his days playing in the streets with his friends, much to the dismay of his widowed mother, who worked day and night spinning cotton to keep them fed. The mysterious stranger. One afternoon, a tall, dark-robed stranger approached Aladdin. He claimed to be the brother of Aladdin's late father, a long-lost uncle from Africa. In reality, he was a wicked sorcerer who had traveled across continents to find a specific boy, the only person capable of entering a magical, hidden cavern. The sorcerer promised Aladdin's mother that he would turn the boy into a wealthy merchant. Trusting him, Aladdin followed the man deep into the desert. They reached a narrow valley between two mountains, where the sorcerer lit a fire and threw a handful of magical powder into the flames. With a roar of thunder, the earth cracked open, revealing a flat stone with a brass ring. The Cave of Wonders. "Lift the stone," the sorcerer commanded. "Go down into the cave. You will pass through gardens of fruit made of jewels, but you must touch nothing. At the very end, in a niche, you will find an old copper lamp. Bring it to me." He slipped a magic ring onto Aladdin's finger for protection. Aladdin descended and was dazzled by trees heavy with pearls, emeralds, and rubies. He reached the end, found the dusty lamp, and tucked it into his vest. On his way back, he filled his pockets with the sparkling glass fruits from the trees. At the entrance, the sorcerer grew impatient. "Give me the lamp first," he shouted. "Help me out first." Aladdin replied, feeling suspicious. Enraged, the sorcerer realized he couldn't get his way. He cast a spell that sealed the cavern shut, trapping Aladdin in total darkness. The two genies. Aladdin wept in the dark for 2 days. In despair, he wrung his hands, accidentally rubbing the ring the sorcerer had given him. Suddenly, a giant, terrifying figure appeared. "I am the slave of the ring. What is your command?" Trembling, Aladdin asked to be taken home. In the blink of an eye, he was back in his mother's kitchen. When he showed her the lamp, she decided to clean it so they could sell it for food. As she rubbed the copper, an even more colossal spirit emerged. "I am the genie of the lamp. I am ready to obey the one who holds the lamp." With the genie's help, Aladdin and his mother never went hungry again. They lived modestly at first, but Aladdin grew wiser. He sold the jewels from the cave one by one, becoming a respected young man in the city. The Princess and the Palace. One day, Aladdin caught a glimpse of Princess Badrulbadur, the Sultan's daughter. He fell instantly in love. He sent his mother to the Sultan with a bowl of the cave's jewels as a gift. The Sultan, stunned by such wealth, agreed to the marriage, but only if Aladdin could provide a dowry of 40 gold basins filled with jewels, carried by 40 slaves. With a rub of the lamp, the genie provided everything. Aladdin was married to the princess and, using the genie's power, built a palace so magnificent it defied human imagination. The sorcerer's return. The wicked sorcerer, however, learned through his magic that Aladdin had survived. He traveled back to the city, disguised as a merchant selling new lamps for old. The princess, unaware of the lamp's secret, traded Aladdin's old, dusty lamp for a shiny new one. The sorcerer immediately commanded the genie to transport the entire palace, and the princess, to his lair in Africa. When Aladdin returned to find his home gone, the Sultan gave him 40 days to find his daughter or face execution. The final battle. Using the slave of the ring, who was less powerful than the genie of the lamp but still helpful, Aladdin tracked the palace to Africa. He sneaked inside and found the princess. They hatched a plan. She invited the sorcerer to dinner and slipped a sleeping potion into his wine. Once the sorcerer fell into a deep slumber, Aladdin took the lamp from his vest and commanded the genie, "Take this palace back to where it belongs, and cast this sorcerer into the furthest desert." The happy ending. The palace returned to the Sultan's kingdom amidst great celebration. Aladdin and the princess lived a long, happy life. When the Sultan passed away, Aladdin took the throne, ruling with wisdom and kindness, always keeping the magic lamp safe, but rarely needing its power, for he had finally learned that his own courage and wit were the greatest magic of all. The tale of Aladdin's magic lamp is far more than just an exotic adventure filled with flying carpets and powerful genies. It is a profound narrative rich with lessons on ambition, integrity, and the true nature of human potential. Here is a detailed breakdown of the moral lessons to be drawn from this classic story. 1. True value lies beneath the surface. The most iconic symbol in the story is the old, rusty, and unremarkable lamp. Amidst the vast treasures of gold and jewels in the cave, the lamp appears to be the least valuable object. The lesson: one should not judge people or opportunities based on their outward appearance or material worth. Often, the greatest treasures are hidden within the most humble packages. 2. The peril of unearned wealth. When Aladdin finds the lamp, he instantly gains access to limitless riches. However, because this wealth did not come through personal growth or hard work, he initially struggles to maintain it. When the wicked sorcerer tricks him and steals the lamp, Aladdin is left with nothing. The lesson: success gained too easily can be lost just as quickly. A life that is not built on one's own skills and efforts remains dependent on external forces, like luck or a genie, rather than internal strength. 3. The downfall of greed and ambition. The antagonist, the sorcerer, seeks knowledge and power solely for selfish gain. He views Aladdin as a mere tool and eventually falls victim to his own obsession. The lesson: an insatiable thirst for power and the willingness to use others as stepping stones eventually leads to one's own ruin. Power that is not earned ethically or shared generously is never sustainable. 4. Freedom is the ultimate treasure. In many interpretations, the genie's plight is the most poignant. Despite being the most powerful being in the universe, he is a prisoner of the lamp, bound to the will of a master. The lesson: no amount of material luxury can replace the value of freedom and self-determination. Aladdin's ultimate act of kindness, setting the genie free, demonstrates that true virtue lies in prioritizing the well-being of others over personal gain. 5. The strength of wit and courage. Aladdin survives not just because of the lamp's magic, but because of his quick thinking and bravery. Whether he is trapped in the cave or trying to rescue the princess, he refuses to give up. The lesson: no matter how powerful the tools at your disposal are, it is your own mind and courage that must guide them. Tools are merely aids. The real difference is made by a person's character and resilience. In summary, Aladdin's story reminds us to look beyond shortcuts and magic fixes. It teaches us that instead of waiting for a genie to change our lives, we must polish the lamp of our own inner potential through honesty, loyalty, and self-worth. Which character's motivation do you find more compelling? Aladdin's journey from street rat to prince, or the genie's quest for freedom?